Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Muriel Bowser. I am the mayor of the best city in the world. And I am joined by members of my public safety team and administration, and also representatives of Capitol Pride. Give them a big round of applause. Stand up, guys. Be recognized. Please stand up. And it's the Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl is here, and we are very proud to host World Pride in Washington, D.C. We're going to have a full, I guess it's 10 days or more now, of activities. We are in a wonderful location here in Gallery Place, Chinatown in downtown Washington, where there will be lots of activations. So we are... let me also mention before we talk about the upcoming events, we had very successful Black Pride events already across the city this past weekend, which means we'll have 2 weeks total activations, and that's what we love to hear. This year also marks a special time because it's 50 years of Pride celebrations in Washington, D.C. There are more than 200 planned World Pride events, and this Saturday is the opening ceremony at Nationals Park, where Shakira will help us open a global superstar for a global event. The following Saturday will be the World Pride Parade. There will be a music festival at RFK, as well as the World Pride Festival downtown. So there's a lot going on. We will direct you to the website for more information as well. So if you live, work, travel through the district over the next several weeks, we're asking you to plan ahead and give yourself extra time. We strongly encourage you to use public transportation. So if you're visiting, our metro is the best, clean, safe, and you can use your credit card to pay. So we want to give the entire team at Metro, you're going to hear from General Manager Clark in just a second, but I'm old enough to remember when that promise was made, and I am very, very happy for Metro, but more importantly for our riding public. That the mystery about how to pay is over. You can use your credit card. But for residents and visitors coming to Pride, I want to thank my team for helping to set up a text number, World Pride DC, to 888-777, and that will help you get real-time updates about traffic, logistics, public safety, and to find out about more events. The website is worldpridedc.org. worldpride.dc.org. And so with that, I want to acknowledge, as I mentioned, Randy Clark, who is the general manager for Metro. Also acknowledge so many members of our team who I'll get to mention in just a second. But let me turn to Randy.
Thank you, Mayor. Always great to do events with you, and appreciate all the great leadership. So, good afternoon, everyone. Randy Clark here at Metro. The mayor took some of my thunder, but I'm going to repeat a couple things here. So, 4 things I want people to really concentrate on, and I'll go to a couple details here about not only just Pride, which we're so excited about, including, you see my pin right here. It's going to be fantastic, and on behalf of all 13,000 employees at Metro, we welcome people to use the system, as the mayor said, and we are the best transit system in the United States, America's Metro. So obviously, Metro is the easiest, fastest way to get around for all the Pride events. 4th of July, upcoming parades, FIFA games, Nats games, DC United, Spirit, you name it, it's the way to get around. We're going to have increased service specifically for World Pride Weekend, the big weekend of June 6th and 8th. I'll talk about that in a second. As the mayor said, we got a great new way to be frictionless in the system. Credit or debit card, tap, ride, go. Don't worry about the big fridge vending machine. Just tap, go about your day. We're trying to make it easy for you to get around. We also launched a new app last week called Metropolitan. It's fantastic, real-time tracking information plus full integration to all Metro services. Really highly recommend it. It's on Google and on Apple to download, and we're encouraging people to do that. On the service specifically, I want to highlight a couple things. The weekend of June 6th and 8th, we are staying open later and opening early for that weekend. So we're staying open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Now, I have already had people say, can we stay open until 4? And I had one person say, my party doesn't start till 1. And I said, the rest of us go to sleep, though, at 10. But so we're staying open until 2 Friday and Saturday, opening at 6 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. The other thing we're doing is we're running the yellow line all the way to Greenbelt that weekend. We know we're going to have a lot of people. Last Pride Parade, we had the highest day ever at U Street Station, and we know we're going to blast through that this year. So we're very excited. There will be probably significant bus impacts, obviously. A lot of traffic with some street closures and other things. WMATA.com/alerts, and we ask people to either check there or go to Metro Pulse. Lastly is, our second last thing I want to highlight is, at the end of June is our normal service change. Better Bus Network redesign is kicking in. We are changing every bus line in the entire network, whether it's a name, some are being rerouted. Every opportunity we have, please look at the bus system. We're going to carry a lot more people, connect way more people to frequent, reliable transportation at the end of June. I just want to highlight that. Lastly, we are an incredibly safe system. We are currently at a 7-year low of crime. Tracking this year is the lowest crime we've ever had on the system. But thank you, Mayor. And we're doing that with partnerships. And Deputy Mayor, Chief, Mayor, your whole cabinet, the amount of work that is happening collaboratively on public safety is impressive. That's why crime is way down. But with that said, if you have any issues, 202-962-2121, direct to Transit Police, or you can text my MTPD, which is 696-873, or use the Metro Pulse. Many ways to connect us, and we're making sure that you're safe out in the system. So happy World Pride. We also have Pride wrap buses and trains out in the system. Let's see a lot of Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky posts about how beautiful those are. So welcome, everyone. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And I do want to acknowledge some other folks who are standing with us and who are behind the scenes, on the scene, in front of the scene, working to keep DC safe and to make our events and to bring more events. So first off, Deputy Mayor Lindsay Appiah. Please give Lindsay a big round of applause, who is responsible for public safety and justice. Director Clint Osborne, who is our director of HCMA. HCMA has a big role in our special events planning and coordination with all of our partners, including Metro and the federal government and our partners in the federal government. Elliot Ferguson, who is the leader of Destination DC, which is our tourism agency. And I know a great partner in World Pride, Jaron Price, who is the director of the Downtown DC Bid. I saw Franklin Park decked out in rainbows, so that's fantastic. Japer Bowles, who is the director of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs. Who has worked very, very hard with our partners at Capitol Pride and the district's really commitment to attracting World Pride, investing, and to make sure when people leave here, they're going to be talking about us as a city, and they're going to be saying what a great time they had in D.C. and when they want to come back. We're also our Chief of Police, who you're going to hear from in just a moment, and LaToya Foster, who you'll also hear from, who is the director of our Office of Cable, Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. So with that, I'd like to introduce Chief Pamela Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What I'll start by saying is that Washington, D.C. is proud to host to be the host city, rather, for an exciting summer of major events to include World Pride 2025. I've had the pleasure and the honor to work side by side with Capital Pride Alliance and Japer and his team to ensure that whatever the needs are for Capital Pride when it comes to public safety, we are in lockstep, we're in solidarity, and we're going to stand side by side with everybody doing the parade to ensure that we have a festive occasion. This year we have World Pride 2025. We also have the Army 250th celebration, and we also have FIFA Club World Cup that will also take place this summer. And these events will bring residents, visitors, and communities to our city from around the world. MPD, alongside all of our district agencies and public safety partners, have been working for many months to plan for these large-scale events that are happening this summer. And our joint planning efforts have included site visits, tabletop exercise, intelligence coordination, and layered security strategies tailored uniquely to these events to ensure that we can keep our cities safe. For World Pride 2025, we have been planning for over a year, and MPD will have an increased presence citywide. We will activate our specialized units, and we will supplement our department with officers from our neighboring jurisdictions. These officers will assist with crowd management, traffic control, and maintain a strong public safety presence throughout the duration of the festivities. At this time, I want to emphasize that there are no known credible threats to World Pride or any affiliated events. That being said, we've had many prides here in the city, but that being said, we always want to remain vigilant, and we always want to be ready. And as always, we will continue to evaluate any intelligence, and we will adjust our posture accordingly if necessary. I will say a little bit about the Army 250th celebration. It's an event that's really designated as a national special security event, and the United States Secret Service is the lead, and at some point, the U.S. Secret Service will come back and provide some additional information regarding that. We know D.C. is no stranger to high-profile gatherings, and we have a proven track record of hosting them safely and successfully, and this year will be no different. But we all know that public safety is a shared responsibility. And although today we have a 20% reduction in violent crime across this city in comparison to the same time last year, a 38% reduction in carjackings, a 22% reduction in robberies, along with a 20% reduction in assault with dangerous weapons. But with those decreases, we realize we still have more work to do to continue to drive down crime in our city. And for our summer crime initiative, you will see an increased police presence in our high crime areas across the city. You will also see an increased police presence in our neighborhoods and business corridors. We will also have joint operation crime suppression initiatives and teams that will go on throughout the summer. And you will also see high visibility patrol efforts starting this weekend until the end of August. What I also want to do is give a shout out to DOES Director Unique Morris-Hughes. I collaborated with her last year on things that we can do for our young people, and I am proud to say that this year, our police department will be supporting our summer youth employment program. We will have DC youth assigned to our community outreach program. We will have 30 positions for our junior police academy and another 20 positions for our STAR summer camp programs. So when we say we love our young people, we want our young people to thrive, and I think the best way that we can show our young people how to show up strong in our city is to align themselves with our police department and help us get the message on how to stay safe. And more importantly for me, because I want to make sure our young people know that we are a bridge. Just like our Cadet Corps program and many programs across this city, we are a bridge to making sure our young people will be successful here in the District of Columbia. But we need everybody attending these events, so please stay alert. I will say this to you, and I'll close by saying this. If you see something, say something. We ask that you plan ahead. I can appreciate General Manager Clark, who has been very excited about the changes with Metro Transit. I might mess around and ride Metro Transit myself this weekend instead of walking all across the city. Tap and go, tap and go. You heard him. And I keep a credit card in my pocket. We're tapping and going. But real-time updates on road closures and safety advisory will be available on MPD social media and on our website. I also want to take a moment. I want to emphasize this. We recognize that public safety is a joint responsibility, but I want to thank our men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department and all of our partnering agencies who have been working really, really hard this year for our commitment to public safety. Your dedication, our dedication, the dedication to the folks that have showed up today will ensure that we have a successful World Pride. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to Mayor Bowser.
And so I want to finally invite Clint Osborne, followed by LaToya Foster.
Good afternoon. I'm Clint Osborne. I'm the director of the DC Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency, and this is an exciting time for our city. It is a continuation of what feels like Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and which one day will lead to a Super Bowl. But for the community that's celebrating this week in the District of Celebrations, this is your moment, and we at HCMA are proud to support the efforts that ensure that all of our residents and visitors feel safe and welcome throughout this festival of activity. As the district's lead emergency management agency, HCMA has been working closely with our local, regional, and federal partners to coordinate public safety planning for World Pride. We've been hosting daily coordination calls since the 17th of this month to ensure seamless communication and situational awareness among all of our participating agencies and stakeholders. The mayor talked about 200 sanctioned events, but we know that there are almost 350 affiliated, attached, and spiritually connected events going on during this festival. And we know that when we work together, everybody has a better outcome. These calls that we've been doing align our operational priorities. We're reviewing, as the chief said, intelligence updates, and we're finalizing logistics related to public safety, transportation, and emergency response. And I would like to thank the World Pride Organizing Committee for just joining in and being part of our family of public safety. They've been great partners throughout this event. In the months leading up to World Pride, HCMA has conducted a number of exercises for district agencies and our key partners to test and strengthen our operational plans. These tabletop and functional drills brought together agencies across all of our sectors, from law enforcement, fire, EMS, transportation, health, human services, and more, and included, throughout this entire run, have included the event organizers because they're providing a lot of services directly to the folks attending this festival. We've been walking through real-world scenarios, and this proactive planning has helped us stay nimble, collaborative, and ready to address any situation that arises. And indeed, daily, we make adjustments to the city's operating posture to ensure that each of the events gets the support that it needs. We're committed to keeping the public informed throughout the duration of World Pride. HCMA has set up the Alert DC and Nixle text messaging services that the mayor talked about to provide timely and accurate updates on traffic disruptions, safety reminders, and emergency notifications. And as always, this is a layered approach to communicating with the public. So if you're already following MPD traffic, you'll see we'll be repeating that information and getting the information out. All of our sources, we're trying to get out as much as we can. So as the mayor shared, we encourage everyone, whether you're a resident, visitor, or business owner, to sign up for alerts by texting World Pride DC to 888-777. Again, that's World Pride DC to 888-777. And to sign up for Alert DC, you can go to alert.dc.gov. On behalf of the men and women of HCMA who will be working overtime and continue to work overtime for this event, I want to welcome the community and enjoy a safe and joyous festival in the District of Celebrations. And I'll now turn it over to Director Foster from OCTFME.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, as always, for your leadership, for your vision, and all that you do to make the district the best city in the world. Can we give our mayor another round of applause for all that she does? Now, let me tell you, at the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment, we are proud to help shape a summer that's alive and a vibe, and a part of Mayor Bowser's growth agenda and vision. So first, we're excited to announce a brand new Downtown Summer Concert Series that we're partnering with our friends at the Downtown Bid, our friend Jaron Price here, President and CEO. And we couldn't be more thrilled on how we're going to work together to reimagine what's possible downtown this summer during the Capital One Arena renovations. This concert series will kick off immediately following Mayor Bowser and CNN's 4th of July concert that's set to take place downtown, featuring national and local talent. We are also excited to announce that we have brought Magic Wednesdays to Washington, D.C., a 10-week free R&B, jazz, and go-go concert series in partnership with Radio 1 and Magic 102.3 FM. We are joined by the co-president of Radio 1, Eddie Harrell, who's with us today. And we know what a great impact that is going to have at the St. Elizabeth's campus and Sycamore and Oak beginning 10 weeks starting June 11th. So mark your calendars for that. And then OCTFME continues working with our friends and partners like Live Nation. We are joined by Kelly Flanagan. The president of Live Nation DC is with us. So Mayor Bowser, when you talk about Shakira coming up and all of the different big concerts coming up, Kelly is our girl. She's our friend, and she's making sure that all of the big concerts are coming here to the city and large-scale events, including the Broccoli City Breezy Bowl. I don't know if Broccoli City is here. I see Marcus back there. We know that Broccoli City last year brought 40,000 attendees to Audi Field, and we know that this year with the Breezy Bowl, featuring Grammy winner Chris Brown at Nats Park, has been sold out for weeks with 40,000 attendees. And we also, that's something to clap about. That's big. And through our OCTFME stage in partnership with Events DC, shout out to President Madame Angie Gates, will also showcase emerging local artists at this high-profile event. And we're proud to support the DC Jazz Fest at the Wharf later this summer as well. I know that's music to your ears. And then we have more. We have nearly 200 films coming right here to downtown over the next 2 weeks as OCTFME is partnering with 2 major film festivals, DC Docs and the Light Reel Film Festival. I believe we have Light Reel here, where we'll be showcasing all across downtown, including here at Gallery Place, the Navy Memorial, Georgetown, and various other locations. And lastly, because Mayor Bowser, you've said we have to have family fun experiences, something for everyone in the household. We are happy to partner with Putt Across America at the Wharf, which is a family fun experience and an immersive 18-hole mini golf experience inspired by iconic American landmarks, offering community days for everyone to enjoy. So we're very happy about that partnership as well. And Mayor, in your words, we know that sports and entertainment is not just fun and games, it's dollars and cents. And that's a big deal. And we know for every dollar that we incentivize for these incredible events, we see upwards of a $30 return on investment for each one. So millions of dollars of economic impact coming to our city. So we're excited about all that's coming our way, all of our partners who are here with us who have been a part of this phenomenal experience, and we want you to stay plugged in to OCTFME. You can follow us, watch us on Mayor Bowser's channel, DCN Channel 16, to learn more, as well as on our entertainment social media platforms. Thank you all, everyone.
Thank you, LaToya. Thank you. Please give a hand to LaToya Foster. And she's never been on the radio. She's never been on the radio. I know I said last two. This time I mean last two. I'm going to ask Elliot Ferguson just to say a bit more about the partnership with World Pride, and then I'm going to ask Japer.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Madam Mayor. So, the question is, what's the difference between Washingtonians and the DMV attending an event and the world coming to our city? That's what Destination DC has been doing for the last few years, promoting World Pride, promoting Capital Pride's 50th anniversary, and the opportunity to host the world. Sometimes when we do what we do, people ask, can we handle the crowds? Do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the hotels, the restaurants? I don't need to tell you all that we have all of those things. And as an organization, and you're in a footprint, you're in a space now that actually will partner with and be the welcome center for those coming to Washington, D.C. So, yes. So the fun thing for me is to see something like this actually come to fruition. And we've been working hard with so many different people, including the mayor and her team, to promote Washington, D.C. So we want folks to come, have a safe time in Washington, be able to ride transportation, stay in our hotels, and enjoy all of these events. But I think the key thing as well is the advocacy component of World Pride, which is extremely important. The sports component. Yes, we want people to come and have fun and have a great time, but we want them to learn and remain engaged. No better place to do that than the nation's capital. So it's always my pleasure to represent Washington in terms of promoting our destination to conventions and to the global community, and we know we're going to do an amazing job over the next couple of weeks. So, Madam Mayor, thank you for this opportunity. Congratulations for actually bringing this all to fruition to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I've been waiting to say this for a long time. Happy World Pride! Woo! Thank you so much, Madam Mayor, all of the leaders in our public safety cluster, and the 65-plus other government agencies that are helping make this happen, from getting people connected all across the city to helping support and host events. We're having events all across all 8 wards, but also in the DMV, and it's really a showcase of what our DC values are, which means it's focused on Black and brown people, on youth, on honoring our silver community, on focusing on our Latinx and API community, and getting people downtown, showcasing our art. We already mentioned the sports. We are the sports city, and just the same for our LGBTQIA+ sports. We're hosting over 20 different sports events during World Pride. So we're really, really excited. It's almost 3 years in the making, and I think it is an amazing celebration and an amazing accomplishment. So kudos to the community. Thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for this amazing moment for our city, our community, and our movement. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. And for anyone interested, we will be down at City Hall at what time today? At 3:30 p.m. today for our flag raising, for our Pride flag raising at City Hall. So please join us. This is also my challenge to neighbors to put your Pride flags out. Put your Pride flags out because so many people are coming to our city, and we want everyone to be welcome. We have a time for a few questions. Yes.
Hi, Mayor. Tom Fitzgerald from Fox 5. Kind of a security question. Good policing often is a balance in large events. Washington, D.C. is very experienced with large events. What can you say to the citizens that while Capitol Pride understandably will have a surge of law enforcement to protect folks who attend, but that other regions of the district will be well protected over that time?
Sure. Chief?
Thank you for the question. I think I've shared very eloquently that we are really the experts in this space when it comes to crowd management. But I also am very, very clear about the fact that our 7 districts, where we have our residents who are committed to also supporting us in this public safety space, we will have a high police presence in those areas, just as we will in our downtown core. Bless you. That won't change. We've done this for every single event since I've been here. We always make sure that there is a visible presence, a high visible presence of police officers in our districts as we are celebrating the events and activities that take place here in our city.
A couple questions. I'm Marielle with DC News Now. First, for Mr. Ferguson, I know the last time we spoke to you, you said some of the hotel numbers were down lower than you expected for Pride weekend. Have you seen those come up at all? I know you said probably closer you would see numbers change.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're seeing now is a surge at the last minute, especially with the national community. Clearly, some of the rhetoric from a national perspective has raised questions for those that were thinking about coming to Washington, but the overall positive influence and the reason, advocacy and all of the specific aspects of World Pride have really galvanized the local community, the national community to want to come to the city. Just left our annual board meeting, Randy and I, and we have hoteliers on our board, and they're seeing a surge in occupancy in hotels. So it's really a win-win for us as we look at where we are.
I can, two questions. One for the mayor on the upcoming military parade. Can you give any details about just some of the preps? I heard that there could be like metal plates placed down on the streets. Is that something you guys are doing?
We'll
or
come
prepping?
back and talk about that when we get closer to the date. Yep.
Quick question. Do you have an estimate of how many visitors you expect to come to DC over the week?
I don't know that we can give you a total. It would be a guess,
And then for the chief, I'm just wondering, back to safety. You know, we just experienced, and the museum is opening day, but we just experienced that horrible tragedy. We saw what has happened overseas and other places with lone actors, people driving cars into crowds. How do you protect, and how do people protect themselves in cases you can't block off every single street, obviously? So how do you and then how do people protect themselves from those types of threats?
Well, let me answer your last question first. And I think the most important thing is for us to stay vigilant, right? When we see something, say something. I think we always want to be in a mindset of staying vigilant. The other thing is, and I think I've shared this before, is that, you know, we just had the Memorial Day Parade, right? I mean, it was well attended by many, many visitors. We have a security apparatus that just doesn't include the Metropolitan Police Department, but we also bring in our federal, state, and local partners to assist us with crowd management. I came from a police agency where crowd management was top of priority. Why? Because the United States Park Police was here in the District of Columbia. Metropolitan Police Department, same thing. We have our police officers here who are CDU elements, that civil disturbance units, who will also be lined up on the streets. We use every resource that we have when it comes to crowd management for large-scale events. This World Pride event is no different than what we've done before in the past.
And just any advice for individuals, for groups of people, how they, other than see something, say something?
Stay vigilant. I mean, I don't know what else that I could say. I mean, if I'm with groups of individuals, of family, friends, and things like that, and I'm out, if I see something, I will certainly say something. I will also say, you know, we have been watching what's been happening across the world when it comes to large crowds and gatherings with vehicle rammings. As you know, we work very well with DDOT. We have trucks and vehicles that are in places and spaces across our city to ensure that we don't have any type of individuals who choose to want to cause harm to our city, or to our visitors, rather, to create a catastrophe. Clearly, sometimes we don't know when some of these things are happening, but we are well trained in this space, and I'm confident that even for this event, as our past events, we will be well prepared for the World Pride next weekend.
I would add, Mark, that people should go to the World Pride website and find the event that suits you. Not everybody has to go to a parade or stand in large crowds, because there are going to be events across the city. I was about to say in all 8 wards, but I wasn't sure. So it better be in all 8 wards. In all 8 wards. And so people can find the event or venue that you like. And I can't overstate what the chief has said, to be vigilant if you see something. And let's kind of define what something is. Something is something that doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, doesn't sound right to you. And don't guess, and don't be afraid to let a police officer who you might see know about the feeling that you had, or call, or give us a call, and we will figure it out. Yes.
Mayor, Ted Oberg from News 4. I know you said we'll talk about the Trump parade, the America 250 parade, once it gets closer. We're 16 days out. Can you describe how heavy a lift this is, and how it's been different necessarily than planning for Pride? You had years for that. You had about 6 weeks to do this for 250.
No, the Army 250 has been a long time in the works, so I wouldn't say that it's been 6 weeks. And I have to say this, while anytime you're the mayor and you have thousands of people, you got a lot of movements, it causes everybody to to be concerned about making sure we're ready. The chief said something that's very important from events or proposals in the past, that this event has been designated a national special security event, which means a lot of federal resources and planning are over top of it. That's why you don't hear us talking a lot about it, because the federal apparatus has been moving. But let me ask Clint or Deputy Mayor Apedia to say a little bit more.
Sure, like the mayor said, this is an NSSC, and I believe this is the 6th NSSC that the district has hosted of the 84 in the past year. So just like inauguration, which you saw us transition essentially in a weekend, which demonstrated the nimbleness of the district and of our partners, that whatever is presented, there's no place that's more experienced than the District of Columbia in kind of executing these large-scale events. And you've heard there's many events. Well, because we know that, we have been planning, like the chief said, for months. And so much of the tabletops and working together with our federal partners and our local partners, DDOT, DPW, Fire EMS, all of that is happening so that every event that you heard between now and our another large event, the 4th of July, which we execute every year, that's what we do in the district. And so that planning process, what the mayor said, is you will hear more. We, every year, if you recall, when we have NSSCs, we generally do a stand-up right before that event to give more detail. There's information put at nssc.dc.gov. All of that will happen so that people understand road closures and all of those things, as we always do. So we feel confident that just like we are always prepared, that we will be for this event as well.
And let me just add, because the more I hear about this, and Mary, I don't have the answer to your question about plates and where they're going to be and all. We know what the route is, and we can come back later and talk about that. So that's the kind of the planning that we have to do. Now, for everybody out there, this is going to be, it sounds like the Army 250, and the display of equipment and history of the Army may be pretty spectacular. So I would look forward to whatever information that's being put out by the Army about what's actually going to be there. Some of you have been to air shows. Others have been to our truck touch. So imagine kind of the meld, and it's for the United States Army in celebrating its 250 years. So as I was getting updated, I realized that this isn't, I think you referred to it as the military parade. And there's going to be a parade aspect, but don't lose sight of the fact that a lot of people served in the Army, a lot of families, a lot of people are into aircraft and other equipment. I've seen it at air shows that I've been to, and I would expect that we would see something similar. I was advised by the NTSB, and I think our planning teams know that there could be some disruption to the airspace at times. We don't know when that is, but that could affect, for short periods of time, air travel. Yes?
Mayor Tom Fitzgerald again from Fox 5.
You already asked the question.
Well, Channel 4 got 2 questions, and I'm only here by myself. So.
Oh.
Ours was short, though. And elicited great answers.
Bit of an elephant in the room question. Last month, the Council of Governments was briefed by Capitol Pride, and they testified that there were some people internationally that were concerned about traveling to the United States for World Pride because of the actions of the current administration. They had testified that some sponsors had pulled out, and they were even promoting a program where people could participate virtually by not coming to the nation's capital. What would you say to someone internationally about whether they should be concerned about coming to the United States for this?
Well, listen, I think Elliot addressed this issue already, and over the last several years, we've seen ebbs and flows of international travel to America. And that's been visa issues, and that's been hate speech, that's been, make Canada the 51st state. Like, they don't like that. We want to be the 51st state. So we have So we have all of those things happening. And then I think people also feel scared. They feel scared that they could be attacked, or they feel scared that a environment is developing that is anti-LGBTQ. We know we're the gayest city in the world, and we lock arms. You know, I just left another community that's been targeted and attacked at the American Jewish Museum, by the way, who has an amazing LGBTQ exhibit. You should go and check it out. It's open. So I can only speak for myself and our values, which say we can't live in fear. We have to live our lives. We have to prepare and be as best prepared as we can. But we have to live, and we're going to live, and we're going to celebrate. Okay. Yep.
One more parade question. The Army has told reporters they will be on the hook for any damage to roads that their heavy vehicles, tanks may cause. Does that give you any encouragement in terms of your concerns about that, you know, hurting the city infrastructure?
Listen, we've worked really hard to get our roads in the state of good repair, and bridges in the state of good repair, and I think that there has been time and attention paid to how to move this heavy equipment in a way that doesn't hurt them. I remain concerned about it, I have to tell you. These are, for the most part, local streets, and if they're rendered unusable, we have to make them usable and then go seek our money from the feds. Or maybe the Army Corps of Engineers would fix it, but probably we would fix it and then go seek our money from the feds. So that gives me some concern about fronting costs and waiting for them to get back. But I gotta think that the Army is among the most qualified logistics moving agencies in the world. They have moved equipment in more, you know, precarious situations, so we're relying on their expertise, but we will, what I can tell DC residents is that we will try to keep our road network usable, and if we have to fix something, we will seek reimbursement from the feds.
One more quick one. The White House is planning to invite VIPs to a stand that they are building at the Ellipse. Have you received any invite from the White House for the parade?
I'm not sure, but what I have encouraged, and you know, we sometimes use events in preparation for other events. Like last year, we tested the parade route that is going to be used this year. It was the Capitol Pride used last year. I asked our America 250 Commission to look at the kind of setup that's being used for Army 250 to see. I think it will be some indication of what America 250 could look like. So we will be doing that and we'll be observing it.
Mayor Joe Heim from the Post.
Yeah.
Just could you tell us what the total amount of money the district is spending to host Pride and World Pride, and also what your projections for revenue are from the events?
Who has the revenue estimates? Do you have the revenue estimates? I don't have them off the top. Maybe Elliot, I don't have the revenue estimates on returns off the top. I will tell you that we invested $5 million. It was in last year's budget to help with logistics and planning and support. We will have other in-kind costs related to event management, and we'll figure out how that's accommodated.
Mayor?
Yes.
One quick question regarding the World Pride Festival, which is 2 days this year. The festival for the regular annual Capitol Pride usually is 1 day on Pennsylvania Avenue. But we're hearing, though, that this year it may be enclosed in a fence with security entrances. And I was wondering, was that just an extra precaution that was decided to be done this year?
Let me ask either JAPER or organizers to address that question.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Boss, the Executive Director for the Capital Pride Alliance, and it was done for a variety of reasons. Since it is a two-day festival, exhibitors will be having their items on site for 2 days, so we wanted to ensure that we could control and keep their items safe and not have to unload and load and unload and load. In addition, we wanted to provide some extra safety measures to ear on concerns from people in the community. So we'll have multiple entrances, and we'll be ready to invite folks to DC. And in terms of the economic impact, the original number was between $600 to $700 million in economic impact.
Yes, you've been very patient. Thank you.
Felicia Ashley, ABC7. 2 questions. One, just with obviously everything going on, what it means to all of you to have this here, the event, but also essentially a summer of celebrations. It's been a heavy year for some, but being able to have this. And part 2, for Chief, with Wharf and Navy Yard, we're going to have a lot of visitors and groups there. I know last week you spoke to touching base with businesses just in, doing their part as well, if you got a chance to do that with the upcoming events happening there.
So it feels great. You heard LaToya say and talk about how attracting visitors, having festivals and global events is part of our growth agenda. And you heard that is from attracting World Pride, where we invested a lot of money to bring people to DC. Now, I'm not talking about the cultural aspects. Right now, I'm talking about the dollars and cents aspects. And so that's important. So with all of these events, you have sporting events, you have music events, you have people going to restaurants, people going to nightclubs. We didn't talk about nightlife. Everybody, party responsibly. Please. And so, yeah, we feel good about that, but it's also kind of, you should expect more. I think that's what I would say, expect more. And I think, we've talked, and I tried to convey this in talking about the Army 250 because everybody's a little trepidatious about it, but hey, I think we're gonna have a lot of visitors to DC that are looking at the history of the Army and the equipment that they're going to bring. So those are things that we still want to highlight. As it relates to the wharf, I'll just respond that we continue, and I'll ask the Chief to say that we continue to work with the wharf about restricting young people at certain hours who are not accompanied by an adult or who are not at an event. The Deputy Mayor and I will work with the council on an emergency measure moving forward that would address other youth curfew activities. I don't have anything to report on that right now. Okay, thank you everybody. Happy Pride.